Unreal Math Gaming here. Today I'm playing a new game, The Sims 4. We've got our character here that I've created, Colonel Sanders, where we're going to be starting a property empire, the Colonel Sanders Building Agency. Now I've started the game by building a terraced house on this flat land. The goal is we're going to build one terraced house, and when we start making more profits and getting more Sims to join the army, we're going to be building more terraced houses, and then eventually have a street filled with them. We're going for like a monopoly plan. We're going to build loads of terrace houses and then move on to building hotels, and then eventually mansions. Now, while building in The Sims 4, you have to be careful with the money. Make sure you use it wisely, or you'll end up being skint. So that's one of the reasons I've decided to build a small terraced house to start off with. I'm designing the street that's going to be used in front of the houses. Now we're starting the initial construction of the front of the house, and I must be careful relating to the cost of the structure, not to make it too big, too expensive. We are designing the front of Colonel Sanders' house now. Start the Kentucky Fried Chicken Empire. This part I've started building the kitchen in the house. The kitchen's going to be quite small as it's a terraced house we're building. Just designing the outline of it. Need to make sure the kitchen is big enough so I can put all the appliances in that I'll be using. And for obviously cooking the chicken, the most important thing of all. Now I'm just redesigning the front door entrance of the house here. Now I've skipped ahead a little bit here as we make the initial rooms for the first floor. Build. Just making it so it builds the rooms, and then we're going to install doors in the first floor. Now we're moving on to selecting the doors for the build. We're going to be adding the front door and the kitchen door on, making sure to select one that'll look good for the build. Now during the build I might make some mistakes, this black door being one of them. Later on I'll change it out for an even better looking door, as we want the terraced house to look perfect and well designed. Just putting in the kitchen door there. Now I'm just looking for a decent door to put on the back of the house for entry into the garden. Now we've found a perfect door to put in the back. Now we're going to be building the window for the living room, as this large room at the back is going to be where the living room is going to be for this terraced house design. Going to make sure the windows go all along. Now I've moved it ahead a bit, up to the bit where I've installed all the windows for the living room, and I've installed a window at the front where the kitchen is. We're just putting it in the flooring now. Having a different colour flooring for the passage of the house. This colour flooring that we're going to use here looks good for the kitchen. Now I've moved on to installing the staircase into the house. Initially when I tried to put it in, it didn't fit, so we're just doing some demolition work here so we can fit it in the space that's given. As you can see, it doesn't fit in the space I intended to go, so we're going to have to expand the house a little bit so it does. Now that we've managed to fit the staircase in, I'm going to have to make the house smaller again. Now that I've built the first floor, I'm going to move on to building the second floor of the terraced house build. Now that we've got the outline of the first floor, the second floor should be much more easier to build. We're going to be building the passage and then the upstairs rooms. Just skipped ahead a bit there. There's the doors for each of the rooms we're going to be using. Now I've decided to replace them doors and use lighter ones, and we're going to be installing the bathroom as well. It appears I've misplaced one of the walls outside of the second floor. We'll have to demolish that later on. We're just building the roof now of the house. Now while I was trying to find out how to put the roof on the house, I decided to move the kitchen window up a bit as it was too close to the floor. And while doing that, I decided to put the second floor windows in. Took us a while to find out how to make the roof bigger. But here's the roof getting put onto the house. Now that I've completed the main structure of the terraced house, I'm going to be looking around, see if there's any details I can add in. I'm going to be adding some more windows on the back of the house for the second floor. And then after that I'm going to be decorating the walls and designing the exterior and adding furniture to the interior and adding the lighting as well. The room at the back is going to be where the master bedroom is going to be. It's got the windows lighting it up, and then the bathroom is going to be the room in the middle, and then we're going to have the second bedroom near the front. We've just got a view here of the back of the house, of the design. Now I'm picking a nice brick texture for the exterior of the house. Now I'm looking for ways to decorate the front of the house a bit more, make it look nicer and more realistic. Choosing a new colour for the roof now. There's the front design for the terraced house done. As you can see, it looks quite good. Now we're going to skip ahead a bit while we're designing the interior of the house and design the wallpaper. Now I'm just adding the lighting into the house. I've designed a bit of the kitchen. I'm going to be changing it around a bit later on. And I'm adding the lighting in the passage and the kitchen now. We're just moving on to the second floor of the design now. Once we've done the lighting on the second floor, then we'll be putting in what furniture we can afford with the remaining budget. We're just picking out a bed using the master bedroom there. We're just designing the bathroom here. Make sure we've got enough budget to put all the things we need in, all the ones we can afford. Now we've moved the same into the early build of the house, which will eventually improve and expand upon and eventually have a fully built street filled with loads of terraced houses. Now it appears we've run out of funds, so we're going to have to try and find a job for the sim now so we can generate more funds. This is the end of the pilot episode of my Sims 4 gameplay series. Thank you for watching, and I'll be uploading a second episode soon. See you later.